Hey guys, Maury with 316 Automotive. Back here again, doing another edition, but this one is not automotive. This one, dun, da, da, is going to be the power tool edition. Let me adjust this down for you a little bit here. You can see my Sawzall is all apart. There it is, all right there. I was using it this past weekend, and it was running fine for a little bit, and then the blade kind of bound up. You know, it's supposed to go like this, and the blade just went and then bound up. And no matter how much you goose the motor, it wasn't going to go anywhere. It stayed stationary. So I come in here, and I'm trying to see what's the matter with this thing. Maybe there's just crap and stuff in the mechanism, and something like that. I can clean it out. We'll be back in business. No. What happened was I took this apart. Let me just tell you, this is a Dewalt DW307M Sawzall. Been a great saw for a whole bunch of years, and I didn't want to throw it away, so because it's been a great saw. So anyway, I took off the front piece here and all the mechanism that you see there, as well as there's more right there. I took that all off. Ooh, by the way, you can find anything on the internet. Look at that. I got a complete exploded parts view of this thing, and the website came with part numbers to order and such, and I'll get to that in just a minute. So I took all the front end off, and I'm going to plug this in, and I'll show you. Watch that gear right there. The motor is pulling strong. So that's not the issue, which is good. And so I took the reciprocating mechanism all apart, the gear and everything, and look at this. This is called, it looks like a banjo fitting here, but it's not. They call this a wobbly fitting or something like that. You can see, here's the cage for the bearing. You can see that. That thing is sticking right out of there. It just ground the cage to scrap metal, and the bearings shot out. I don't know where the bearings are, but this thing is bound right up. So, all right, well, I can take my parts list here, and there's what I'm talking about. That's the housing for it. See, looks just like it. And there's the bearings and the retaining clip and the wobbly part of the, I call that a off-center cam type of thing. And you can't get this whole assembly anymore, but you can buy just the bearings. See number 64 there? So I bought one, two, voila, two bearings right there. 15 bucks for these babies online. You just order the part number and bam, eBay, and you're good to go. So I'm going to take out the retaining clip there. I'm going to pull out the bearings. I'm going to pull out the wobbly cam. I'm going to put it all back together. I'm going to grease it up, put the new bearings in there, and I'll go over that with you step by step. And hopefully this thing will be back in business before long. So I'm going to shut her down. I could leave it going. All right. Incidentally, this kit of channel lock You see that right there? This channel lock kit of snap ring pliers, there it is. Been invaluable. I've used the heck out of this thing for nearly everything. It's a great kit. It was well worth the money. I forget what I paid for it. Now, getting this out of here. That's going to be a booger. Ah, good one. This bearing seems okay, but this one here, it's got that cage just tore up in there, missing some of the balls. The balls are probably in the grease here somewhere. That was the problem. So now we're going to get this booger back together. As soon as I clean it up some. Got a little grease. Going to put in here. Grease your bearings before you put them in. Then wipe off the bearings. These are new bearings. Got my trusty ball peen hammer. FYI, this hammer, you see there's ball peen hammer. This thing was given to me by my grandfather when I was, roughly about 10 years old on my mother's side. And he was a Mr. Fix-It too. He could fix just about anything, and he ran that farm, and man, he made anything run, tractors and farm implements and whatever. And he gave it to me, and this is the only thing I've managed to keep track of all these years. I'm in my 50s now, and man, this has been a good ball peen hammer for many, many years. I have fond memories of my grandpa. Hey babe, what's up? You want to get on some filming? No. I'm filming right now. There's my lovely wife right there, Melissa. Hello, YouTubers, she says. Right. She puts up with me because I can fix things. See? That's the key right there, guys. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so he's working in the kitchen.
Yes.
And in the den. But here in a minute, he's going to need to get in our bedroom, and the dogs are in there.
Put the dogs outside.
They've been out all day, and it's blistering.
They're dogs.
Okay. Or
What?
you could put him in the bathroom, and he's ready to get in the bedroom.
I could do what you say?
Good.
That is crazy talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Bearings are in. Now, put the circlip in. Snap right in. A good thing about these channel locks is you can change them for interior or exterior just with a flip of a switch right here. And man, that is handy. I'll tell you what. Put your fingers around this so it doesn't snap out. My son lost the circlip putting in a piston on a motorcycle, and so we used, tap it down, make sure it's seated, and we're good. And that circlip, he used an old circlip instead of a new one because he lost a new one, and he shouldn't have done that because that old circlip broke and came out of there while the engine was running and scored up the inside of that piston or the inside of the bore, and he was sorry he did that. One of his buddies told him don't do that, but Reese was in a hurry. He did it, and it did not turn out good. So he's now in the process of parting that bike out because of what he did. He was impatient. He should have just gone to O'Reilly's or AutoZone or something and get a new one. We got circlips for everything. There we go. I heard it snap in according to this diagram. Insert that on this side. I'm going to give that a little bit of grease too. Can't have too much grease or oil when you're assembling a motor or power tool that needs that sort of stuff. Hey guys, here's the top tip. When you're doing something like this and you suspect there's some ball bearings like inside the grease here, you can feel around there with your finger and that's all well and good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a magnet here and I'm just going to root around and pick up any stray ball bearings in that grease while I'm massaging the grease around. The ball bearings that may have come out of that busted up bearing. Got any yet? Nothing yet. But that's a good way to find some ball bearings. Now put her back together. See how this works here? It's got a wobbly fitting like that, and that's what causes the reciprocal part of the thing that causes the reciprocal motion. As you can see right here, there's the two bearings that I just replaced. Here's our wobbly fitting. There's our wobbly cam thing that I call it. There's our circlip. Here's another beveled bushing that goes on this shaft. You can see right here. There is that. So, just getting all that back together. This fits on there. You can rotate it around until it fits good and you know you got it. Right there. And then this booger, it fits like this. And it fits over it. You see how that goes together? Just like that. That's what's going to cause our back and forth oscillating motion. Alright guys, I want you to see something. When you assemble this banjo looking fitting, which they call the wobbly something or other, there's a barrel nut in this shaft, and it looks just like number 32 right there. And that is a nut with it's called a barrel nut, but it's meant to go in a shaft like that, and then it's meant to rotate, which is part of the wobble motion here. So you put that in place first. It's kind of fiddly. You gotta get in there, and yeah, you're gonna get greasy. All right, just get used to it. And then once you got that in there, then the rest of it can go back. Now I'm going to show you. Don't forget. Here's the top tip. Don't forget that nut. Put that nut on, and that'll keep this shaft from moving around. And you can see the wobbly motion going on, turning that shaft into a reciprocating shaft. This one, rotary motion into reciprocating motion through this wobbly fitting right there. That's what we want. By the way, these long screws that I'm putting in, they are Torx T20 screws. Now, tighten up that nut that's on that shaft that I told you about. All right, let's see how she goes. Good. So, two top tips. Do those cams that I showed you about, have them facing each other like this, and put that retainer nut on before you put the power to it, and that way, even though these 4 bolts are in, you need that retainer bolt on the shaft right there, or the retainer nut, and get that tight, and then it's going to be good. So now I'm going to get the rest of it back together, and I'll show you that in a second. And folks, here is the finished product. Excellent. So remember, on these Dewalt saws, at least for me, these two bearings, number 64, are crapped out. And this is a DW307M Type 1. And you just look that up, and that's what I printed out here. And you just put it back together, lots of grease, remember. And you just order those two bearings, because remember, this used to come as an assembly. This wobbly fitting used to come as an assembly. It don't no more. You can't get it. No way, no how. I've scoured the internet and it just ain't there. So next best thing, order these two bearings, which really, that's fortunate. That's all I needed. And that was only 14, 15 bucks, something like that. And away you go. So let me get this going the right direction. This is Maury signing off on another successful repair. Have a great day.